Hey everybody, James W. Falcon here, and I'm on my way to working out, which is why I look this way. And I just had a few thoughts that I wanted to post concerning some recent events. So this whole mess with Harvey Weinstein, I am terribly, terribly sorry that so many women and perhaps men have been adversely impacted, have been groped, and I'm sure many, many other things, many, many horrible things by this man. And I think it is a good example of what happens when there is something that has been systematically affecting people. When I think of the aspiring women, for example, actresses, everybody that gets to New York City or they get to Hollywood and their eyes are lit up, they're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say, to make their mark on history, to land a movie role, to be the next big star. And the fact that many women have had to go through this man to get to where it is they were aspiring, and for him to have done to them what he's done systemically is just absolutely horrible. And the thing that I want to mention here is that I'm so broken that this happened. The upside to it, if there is an upside, is that so many people are coming forward and they're mentioning, you know what, yep, that happened to me. Yep, it happened to me. I mean, there was a whole thread earlier this week or sometime last week, Me Too is the hashtag, and we had people like Terry Crews come out and say, I don't think he said Harvey Weinstein, but he said that he was groped in a Hollywood party setting, which is just as brazen as you can possibly be, considering Terry Crews and how massive an individual that guy is, and for someone to be as bold as that to grope this man in the open is utterly despicable, to say the least. But here's the upside. So many people, the boldness of so many of Harvey Weinstein, and I'm sure others, victims, is what's refreshing. The boldness is what we need. And here's why I wanted to post. It's because I'm really believing that there is a shift happening in America. There is a real transformation happening. There is a generation of people that aren't going to tolerate being dehumanized, being molested and groped, and they're not going to put up with having to be accosted and having to be slandered and having to be oppressed time after time. They're just not going to put up with it. And I'm really excited that Americans, in the midst of this current administration, and others for that matter, but that so many pockets, so many different segments of America are starting to stand up. I'm excited because here's my point in wanting to post. The systemic oppression of one group of people is liable to get greedy enough, large enough, horrible enough, despicable enough, bold enough to start to oppress other groups of people. See, it never stops because there is a gluttony, there is a lust, there is a thirst for power and for manipulating people and for oppressing and subjugating people. And that spirit that has run rampant through this culture and others is coming to its point where it's going to have to fight. And it's reaching a point where its opposition are the victims and those standing with the victims. And I'm talking about this whole thing out in Hollywood, but I'm also talking about that in the context of what's taking place with African Americans, with Native Americans, and with other people, with the LGBTQ community, and with our Muslim brothers and sisters, and with our Middle Eastern brothers and sisters, and with our Latino brothers, and with all of the people groups that have been systemically oppressed. I'm excited that there's a tide that's turning here in America. And that tide is, you know what? Yep, flag on the 20. That's it. I'm out. This is not happening again. And we are galvanizing, even in the midst of the horrible leadership, in my opinion, that we are being given by Donald Trump and all of his cronies. I truly believe that there is a facet of American society that is not tolerating the foolishness and the oppression anymore. That's why I wanted to come on. I salute you, women who are and men who are standing up against the machine of Hollywood where you have been dishonored as a human being. I salute you, and I would ask and encourage anybody else to come forward. I realize there is a cost. I realize there is a price. I realize there is a sacrifice. I realize that you put yourself on the line. You bear your soul. You share some very personal things. I realize that, but it needs to happen. And that same boldness, that same, determination to oppose these kinds of systems needs to spread to the rest of us so that more African Americans like Colin Kaepernick are willing to take a knee or to sit. That more Olympians like Tommy and John Carlos and our dear brother from Australia that would dare to put on black gloves and raise the fist. More of our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ community, more of our Native American, more Middle Eastern, more Latino, more Muslim. That the hair is standing up on the back of my neck right now because I am so excited and I'm so thrilled that these machines are being challenged. And that we'll see in our lifetime that these machines will be torn down. Yes, I am stoked. I am almost obsessed about this stuff because it has been systematically oppressing people for years. And its days are drawing near. James W. Falcon here with just a few more thoughts talking from the series of Racial Injustice in America, where I've been doing several posts in a series about that topic as it relates to African Americans, Colin Kaepernick's taking a knee, and some other things. And I wanted to just connect these dots, everybody, because I'm hoping you're seeing this. No, I'm not politicizing what's happening to women and men out in Hollywood. I'm not. But I'm mentioning the fact that there is the same spirit afoot out there as it has been, the same vile, prideful, thought process of certain individuals to think that it's okay for them to oppress everyone else and that they can do it in broad open daylight and that they can do it consistently and that there won't be any opposition. Well, guess what? Those systems' days are coming to an end. Let's be bold. Let's unify. Let's unite. Let's join our voices together and to see what changes we can make right here, right now. Until next time, take care.